What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my first long form video. I'm going to be reacting to the workout that I gave Nick the day before his first 3 SSB session. And I just want to take you guys through the mind and like the breakdown as to why I did these things the way that I did. And remember, this is one clip out of the year and a half that I've been training him since January 2025. He's came phenomenally a long way. Ultimate goal, NBA. Kid 6'10", handful of Division I offers, high major. Kid's got a real chance. We love him to death. Great kid, even better human being than basketball player, honestly. So I'm just been really blessed to be able to be a part of this situation and help him along the way and just build a relationship with him. Like I said, this is more than just basketball. It's more than just training. This is really about the connections that I make through this. And it's been great. And hopefully this can help you guys with your guys' current situation or athletes. And hopefully you guys can take some things away, or you guys can ask me, and hopefully I can help you guys out. And we'll have some reaction to the original clip that I posted on Instagram and social media. And then I have some added clips to show you guys at the end as well. And ultimately
Stay low,
starting
stay low.
out
Nice, nice. Ooh.
and just being, excited about the process. Anytime I see stuff like this, it just excites me. There's so many clips which of him like from the past just looking absolutely insane. But he's great. He's moved on to this part of the training now where he's able to get low, get long, get wide, and be able to be shifty. So just working on that hand-eye coordination as well, because I mean, as basic as this seems, this is the warm-up. One of the bigger goals that his dad and his coaches had for me was he's got to be able to pass the ball. He's got to be able to have better touch on his hands, being able to like be firm with the grip when he's passing the ball fingertip and hand to hand, but being able to control his power, being able to toss the ball, being able to lead guys through backdoor cuts, being able to adjust his pitch when he's pitching the ball to people, things like that. Like that really does take a lot of finesse. It takes a lot of just timing and reps, ton of reps. So we microdose these into his handles, into his warm-ups. I do strength and conditioning and basketball. So I use this time to work him into lower positions, get the blood flowing, get the mind right as well. We do a lot of mental half-speed reps in order for us to have the brief that we need to focus on as far as going into what situation we need to get into, right? AAU, there's a lot of moving parts going on. There's a lot of open court basketball happening, a lot of free movement. There's a lot of sets that he likes to work with his coach as well that I'm familiar with. So we just like to prepare him for a lot of those type of situations. Obviously, he is a stretch 4/5. Great in the post. Biggest strength is his back to the basket, his touch around the basket. Absolutely phenomenal. So a lot of the stuff that I give him is the stuff that he doesn't really get to kind of work on when he's in practice. In practice, a lot of times he's in the post, he's in the short corner, he's in the dunker spot, he's in the high post. He's handing off DHOs around the perimeter. So, like I said, a lot of the stuff that I give him in the open court is more of the stuff that he isn't necessarily going to see. Is he going to do that all the time? Probably not. Is he going to get a ton of opportunities like that? Probably not. But guess what? Even the best players in the world who necessarily only get 1 to 2 3-point shot attempts in the game, they still got to work on their game. They still put up 1,000 shots a day. That's just the way that it is when it comes to basketball. We may not see the exact opportunity that we're like working on, but we just have to have priorities in mind, right? Without that being so long-winded,
Hey.
let's move on.
Oh.
And then for this, right, this is a 2-on-1 situation. I had one of our kids that train at the gym come and help us out, and I had him have one job. Hey, you're going to start on the block. You're going to go left or right. By the time he flips the ball and turns around, it's one of those things where he's kind of catching it at full court. He's turning and facing and going, which it does happen a lot in AAU. That does tend to happen a lot where he's got the ball. We're in transition. It's time to go. There's two people in front of you. You know where the guy in the back is essentially in help, whether he's in the middle of the key or he's in short corner dunker spot. And it's like, hey, like, okay, I know where the guy in the back is. It's my turn to break this guy down in front of me, drag him one way, and then pick a lane to go. And no, is he perfect? Absolutely not. Not yet. And he's working through it, but it's about the eyes and it's the read. This is the warm up. Everything is still building up. We're still preparing the mind. We're still getting him to understand, like, okay, like these little small mental reps and not being exhausted, especially as we ramp up, like ramp up the warm up, he gets faster and faster, and gets a little bit more explosive, a little bit more aggressive with his dribble. But this is still the warm up.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I
On your
mean
toe. Ready,
he's
set, go.
he's getting
5,
shiftier by the day.
4,
And
3.
then moving into like our intensification of everything, we have his overcoming isometrics and these lunge positions, toes on the ground, heels off. I'm totally an advocate for heels on the ground as well. A lot of the stuff that we experience in basketball is flat-footed, so we do a little bit of both. Now, like I said, this is all intensification. This is not about exhaustion. This isn't about a bunch of volume. So we're looking at about 2 sets per leg, and we
4,
move into
3, go. 5,
some of
4,
his. So
3.
the other thing about Junior too is that he just went through another growth spurt. This kid has literally grown with me 2 full inches. First year that I had him, he was about 6'8". Kept complaining to me for about a month and a half in August, like, hey, like my knee is killing me. And we were like, oh, please God, like let it be a growth spurt. And it sure was. He got taller objectively. Went to 6'9", and then he just got done with his last growth spurt. He is now 6'10". So it's really cool to see. It's really funny, like, to see him like come in and he's like, man, my knee's killing me. And we were like looking over his schedule, and we're looking over the calendar, and I'm like, well, you didn't do anything crazy. I mean, hopefully it's a growth spurt, but I always had to be mindful and careful in case, because at the end of the day, patellar tendinopathy is nothing to play with. I don't know what's essentially going on under the surface. So it was my job throughout this phase of training to really build him up. Remember, we're not putting the cart in front of the horse. Isometrics is a tool. All of the heavy lifting and strength training that we've been and tempo training that we've been doing before this has, just allowed him to have really built up strong tissue, good good neuromuscular firing units. I mean, muscular units that are firing at a higher rate, more muscular units that we're able to recruit. He's a lot stronger now, a lot more explosive, so we're just intensifying. And his left knee was the one that was essentially bothering him. We do both knees, but this is something that was within the program to be able to help his
Go.
tendinopathy.
5, 4,
Hamstrings as
set, go.
well. We did actually do some, and I'll show them in the clips later, but we did do some lateral wall pushes for like some lateral frontal plane stuff. For those who don't know, frontal plane just means side to side, allow him to get more, just be able to intensify the motor units for him to move laterally. And I'll show you guys in a little bit. Here we have some running like around 20 yards, just trying to get like about like 6 to 8 seconds of like maximal work just to keep the sprint residuals in tune. Essentially, you don't sprint for 5 days, you more or less lose like the max velocity and power. Not necessarily saying that he's going to get max velocity, but these are little plyometrics. Sprinting is the best form of it. And to be able to have his ankles, knees, and hips react to the floor maximally, even if it's for a few seconds, allows us to have some contrast work that maximizes his power output for the weekend, right? This isn't something that is it's not a magic pill. This is something that took months, even years, for him to be able to build up his body, to be able to use tools like this and maximize tools like this. If he had no previous work, no previous strength work, no previous lifting, resistance training at all, the maximal isometrics is only it's not going to do much for you at all. Which, by the way, small little fun tip without making this long-winded, maximal isometrics can also help with not just alleviating pain and tendinopathy, helps with regeneration as well. Collagen regeneration helps with laying down more collagen. Shout out to Jesse Ellis. He was the director of physical therapy with the Portland Trailblazers. I got to work with him when we were working with Mo Harkless at the time back then. But yeah, I mean that's just a little fun fact in case you want to incorporate your maximal isometrics into your eccentric and your concentric training as well.
Break out.
Other thing is too, and I'll rewind it. We run into these because going from the start and maximally trying to produce as much power as we can from the start, um, it just higher chance for a possible like strain to the hamstrings. For us, like I said, it's maybe there is going to be a time where the ball gets loose or something happens and he's got to take off as fast as he possibly can. Um, but he's going to be more prepared for it tissue wise within the game in itself. Just for this one, like I said, it's all about just safety, max safety. So that's why I had him jog into it and then break out.
Go. Break out. Remember, as you turn, you start to rise, find that line.
So here we're trying to work on his spots, right? His spots, I mean, the kid is able to work out of damn near anywhere now. He's gotten so impressive with that. Right now we're working out of the elbow. I mean, we it doesn't show it here in our clips, but we did work out of both elbows, short corners, mid posts, and both blocks, just being able to have that touch around the rim. Always touching on the strengths too. Got to sharpen the strengths. Got to make sure that the strengths are sharp. So whether it's jump hooks, baby hooks, fadeaways, this is his fadeaway. This is bread and butter. He got that. So to be able to, another thing too is that a lot of times he gets doubles and triples sent at him. They Teams do scouting reports on him, and he gets a lot of bodies thrown at him. Sometimes you don't need to put the ball on the floor. You're 6'10" already. Rise, bump, and rise up. Catch the ball. The bump is merely to just get a little bit of space and some balance. Find that line in the middle of your body where you're able to square the shoulders up, and then you're just going. Doesn't even need to jump very high. Ball's just got to stay high. He's got to end
That
high.
line. Yeah.
Great
Don't worry
touch.
about the ball until it's already bounced. You're keeping an eye out the whole time. I'm here. Flip. Here.
So this drill, he does get touches off the perimeter. It still applies when he's going into short corner of the dunker spot for him to take a look and for him to still understand what's going on around him. But sometimes he goes to the perimeter, and sometimes, being a big man, that's usually used to just the key. Brain kind of turns off, and he kind of goes into autopilot, looking at the ball. That's a very common thing when it comes to high school players in general. They start staring at the ball and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I need the ball! Like hurry, 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 hurry!" By the time they get the ball and they turn and they try to face up, they got a guard, like they got somebody guarding them either really close or maybe they turn and they're turning slow and the guy's really far. And if they just set their feet right away, they'd be able to turn and shoot. So it's all about just kind of reading and assessing your entire environment the entire time as the ball is moving throughout the floor. Even though you're on the opposite block or opposite short corner, if you're still able to look over your shoulder, you still be able to see everything. But my number one rule is normally like these guys are kind of moving through and it's hard to kind of tell them like, "Hey, just turn your back to the baseline and start shuffling out." Because sometimes, within their offense, they need him to kind of turn and run. But because you're turning and running and you're not having your back to the baseline to kind of have that peripheral vision to see both, if you're just going to turn and run, you still got to be able to use your peripheral vision to look. That's why you see my left eye right here kind of like taking a peek over. So if I see that my guy is far behind, I'm pointing my feet and I'm still catching it sideways and I'm just going to go. And if it closes out, I should be able to just rip and go. And if I can rip and go and he stops me, I should be able to stop here in the short corner off of a dribble or two, be able to turn and hit my fadeaway out of the short corner. Like that's something that he's got in his back. He's a 3-level scorer. So it's just about reading and getting an idea of where his defender is and then making a judgment call off of where he sees. So that's the biggest
Eyes
thing.
are here. I've got it. Now I can go. Simple catch. You don't need to worry about it too much. Here we go.
Yeah, so don't worry too like within this drill, like I said, this is all just mental reps, good mental reps. Like he's not getting like a direct like chest pass just yet, so he gets to over exaggerate the look, right? It's not super game specific, but no, like we want to over exaggerate him assessing the floor, right? Because we put the drill up here. The hope is by game time he's still like, bouncing around within this spectrum to be able to be like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be looking," right?
Go.
Good turn. Keeps an eye on the ball, making sure he catches it, right?
Those. Go.
Good turn and face.
I'm here.
Good. He knows that I'm coming.
Nice. In it.
He knows. Great feet. Great feet. So there's another clip. Where I talked about the feet.
In it.
And the biggest thing with the feet is that I don't like my guys whipping their feet. So, catching and then like doing this huge, like, boom, like just turn and then go. But the biggest thing that I like that he did here was that he chopped his feet. He turned his lower body first. So that way that the feet could point to the basket first while he's still catching the ball. So that the upper body and lower body could be a little disassociated. But by the time he squares up, his feet are ready to go. Ball is a little bit higher. By the time he reaches his apex, his ankles are ready to go. But when you whip, sometimes it's like it takes a really long time to get out of the pocket. Right. Yep.
Nice.
And even though he misses here, I just it's just so cool. Like, I mean, I like to show this stuff because it comes to show like what he's capable of. And in the future, like I'll show you guys like what he used to look like and how he used to move. But man, he was a stiff. So seeing stuff like this is just it's amazing. We've been seeing him do this in open runs. We've been seeing him do this in practice. And when you see the development and what his creativity is able to bring, you kind of let it flow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we've rehearsed these things. This one is more reactionary. This is me running at him, guarding him, and then he's pulling this out of his bag. You know, like we were having him do ones with our other friend DJ. He's one of the coaches over at Cali Gold. And DJ was even putting him through a little bit of bag work. He's like, hey, man, he put a chest on you, put that ball behind your back. And, I've taken Junior through a lot of that before in the past. But then, like, when he was really faced with like a new opponent playing ones and he saw DJ do it a little bit differently than I do it, it really sparked his interest. And he was like, man, like, okay. He's like, I could see what it does in like a really like high intense situation, right? Because when I would rehearse it with Junior, it's like, hey, like when this happens, do it like this. I don't really get out there and play ones too often. But when he saw it with DJ when he was playing live ones, he was like, "Oh, that's where it really comes in." So to see stuff like this is like it's such a treat, man. It's dope. It's dope to see. Like we're super proud of him. Like I said, this was just all reactionary. He sees me, I hit his chest, he's able to keep balance, and then he's just able to go. Step back,
Nice.
on balance. He hits that, I promise. Some more spot work, and then we're gonna draw
There you go.
threes.
Last one.
Catch a shoot.
Get me out of here.
So while he's still growing, oh man, we worked a ton on his form. His form is so different now. This is so cool. I love how I could just do this in slow motion. So one of the bigger things that we fixed in his this offseason, right? Um, Not a huge fan of this turn. We've been kind of working on that to kind of be a little bit more squared, but the turn is okay. Like I'm not too mad at the turn. But the thing is, this elbow, I don't know if you can see my cursor right here, but the elbow right here used to be super flared out because when he would catch it, it's not that like when he would catch it up here, a lot of times like he would get the elbow right, but a lot of times when he would catch the ball a little bit lower and he catch the ball down here, his elbows would get married to this position and then he would stay, he would keep his elbows stuck out to the sides and then he would come up and then he would end up here. But what we've been working on a lot is just even if he catches it down here with his hand down, just being able to flip the ball up, get the elbow under, and then now he's aligned. So just not getting married into that bottom position was something that we really worked on this summer and this offseason. I mean, it's not summertime yet. Finishing off these three fingers as well. Like before he was always like finishing off these last two sometimes. Like his shot sometimes would go out to here. He'd always like end up in different positions. We started working on going over the top, getting like these three fingers to really touch. That was like a big deal. That was really good. And then also too, this knee, this inside knee, the right lead leg knee is one of the things that we focused on as well. He'd always flare it out to the side, so he couldn't really get into a real natural squat position. So being able to turn that right knee in was a really big deal. And then staying on the ankles and not sinking into that back left foot. Those were the bigger ones that we worked on. Also, this left elbow as well. He would get married, like I said, he would get married in that bottom position. But now it just looks so much more crispy. He's just able to get there. Wrist is turned a little bit inward. And look at that, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just lined up, ready to go. Up and in.
Get me out of here.
So he's made leaps and bounds as far as like all of that goes. Up and
There
in.
you go. Last one. Get me out of here.
Beautiful. And then if we wanted to look at some more of these clips, right? Like being able to see some of these other clips. This one, let's see.
Hit him again. Boom, boom. There it is.
Sorry, it's a
Boom.
little washed because
Didn't
I'm
work.
editing.
Yep, nice.
So if you notice, I said
There it
it
is.
didn't work. Listen.
Boom. Didn't work. Yep, nice.
So the big thing that we focus on in three move combos is if you do one move and he doesn't bite, hit him with another one like you just gonna settle for the two combo. But that's where like I like to kind of teach is three move combos. Goes one, oh, it didn't work. The two is usually where it's like, oh, I'm ready for the two as a defender. I'm ready for that second move. You're gonna go for a second move. I'm usually pretty ready for it, right? That's really advanced. I mean, of course, double moves work all the time in the same concept, but putting in three allows me to get more reps, allows him to get more hand-eye coordination and just work in general for his handle. So three move combos. But we get creative and watching him put it in live. We have so much live play with my academy as well with our guys, putting him in certain situations, whether it's like 3-on-3 full court and splitting the court in half, right? Like literally down the middle, like literally from basket to basket, we cut the court in half and going using only one side of the floor. He's able to just like, so we have skinnier lanes. He's able to just be way more shifty in those little lanes, getting into like wiggling into smaller spaces, running guys over, ripping and going. Remind you too. Last summer, for 3 months or 2 months, all we did was rip the ball. All we did was square up, rip the ball, rip, jab, all jab work, all rip work, working on balance and everything. Remember, this is one clip. So I'm trying to explain myself and like explain like our work over the past year and a half that's built up to this. But it's always contextual, right? There's always a reason for something within the program and within everything that we're doing.
Nice. Boom. 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 Nice. Stay low.
Just
Stay low.
just
Nice. Nice. Ooh. Hey.
Kid is he's just moving so well now. It's crazy. I can't wait to show you guys like the previous clips before this. Oh, okay. So this is, and then this. Let's see. What was he?
Boom. Boom.
Behind the back.
Boom.
Second to
Nice.
none. Eyes are up. Great.
Go.
One, two, three. Just great. Great movement. Great hand to hand. Eyes are up. Everything is just moving. Let's see. This one. We only got a few more clips left, guys. So. Hey. Hey.
Okay.
So for this one, it's the lane reads, right? The look off hezzy. Like I said, my job here in this warm up is not to maximize effort and volume and everything. It's not trying to like burn him out, but it's about just mental reps, mentally doing the things that he knows works, knowing that like what he's comfortable with, what he wants to explore, just giving him that opportunity to do so in a very like sub maximal environment. So that was great. And that double cross has been flying now. It's crazy. It's 40-inch vert that he ended up acquiring last year. It's so we really backed out of like back down from like the vertical jump training. We still jump quite a bit, microdosed every week, to some degree. But we did back off of it a lot because of raw power going up for a vert tech. Yeah, he was maxing it out at 12 feet. But the skill of dunking and getting in the lane and picking the ball up and getting your feet right, that was really difficult for him. He only started really trying, like really getting coordinated around the rim recently, like very recently. And getting into those speed boosts as well. Those speed boosts is something that we really worked on. Boom, right there. Shuffling the feet, pushing off the back foot. Oh man, like our warm-ups are nothing but that normally. So it's great to see that.
Nice.
We got only a few more.
You saw it. Where were you?
Also for here,
You're right there.
I'm just going to teach you how to jump out of a frame.
That point,
how to shift.
got here, and then you just stood in front of me. Get outside of my frame. So if you're here, and I know I got to get you at least popped out to there, I got to give you something. So if I get outside of your frame, give yourself a hop out too. You're 6'9". You have 6'10". All that length to come out. And then if you want to get downhill, you can. And if not, if I start to approach again, hit me with the, give me something to freeze me again. Again.
Yeah, he was doing that. He did that recently too. That was something that like I wanted him to refer back to. He was we had one of our guys guarding him and he had to move and then he ended up doing an in and out jab to somebody's feet and it froze them while he was already outside their frame. And sometimes you just need the back guy behind him to move or to like keep on cutting through. So you need like a half second more, even though you have them beat. Those are times to use him. And like, he's been using that. And this move right here was pretty cool. Just getting more comfortable, man.
Okay. Nice. If not, if I start to approach again.
Yeah, so he sees that he breaks out. Boom, boom.
Okay. Nice. That was nice.
Oops, let's go into this one.
Oh, yeah, ready,
like
set, go. 5.
Just something like the overcoming isometrics with the wall for more defensive purposes. Lateral movement. Here we have him looking out of his spots. He really got that bump fade down pat.
Nice.
Elite. And then this one, another one. That was one.
So this one's gonna be 2 parts. What you're gonna do, come here, you're me. You're gonna measure the distance before you catch the ball. So after you catch. But what I want you to do, and then you'll evaluate after you catch. But what I want you to do is,
yeah, so essentially I'm just talking about him just always like being late on the reads. He's always late instead of like, not always, I'm sorry, but he's late sometimes on the reads because he's so worried about catching the ball or what the next part of the play is. But I'd rather him like be just being a basketball player, just assessing what's on the floor, things like that.
To me, and he's far away. That's this. I'm here.
Yeah, feet set right away. I splashed that, by the way. I was cash.
Information. If he's late on getting to me, and he's far away, that's this. I'm here.
Feet.
And then I'm just gonna rise.
Feet turn first.
And I'm just gonna rise. But if I'm close, I know that I just gotta get as low as possible and then just turning.
And just being able to be low and then just ripping through.
And then just go. So
yeah, I didn't even get to record him there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me on any of my socials, preferably on Instagram, TikTok is Mike MIKEGEE_0. Same with Instagram and YouTube, but I'm more easily accessible on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. These edits will get a lot better, I promise. But man, 27 minutes. Oh my gosh. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, let me know if you guys need anything.
Stay low, stay low. Nice, nice. Ooh, hey. Okay. On your toe. Ready, set, go. 5, 4, 3, go. 5, 4, 3, go. 5, 4, set, go. Break out. Remember, as you turn, you start to rise, find that line. Yeah. Don't worry about the ball until it's already bounced. You're keeping an eye out the whole time. I'm here, flip, here. Eyes are here. I've got it, now I can go. Simple catch, you don't need to worry about it too much. Here we go, go. Those, go. I'm here. Nice. In it. Nice. There you go. Last one. Get me out of here. Follow me to become an athletic Cooper.